This is Scott Hammond with the who, what, where, when, why, and how of leaving a great legacy. So if you were to read an obit today out of the paper and discover a little bit about a person, what they left, who they were, who they left behind, how they died, how they lived, you'd make some important discoveries. One, I like to call the 5 W's of a legacy. Who were they? Did they even know who they were? Did those around them know who they really were at the core? What was their core personality? What were they leaving? What was their life about? What was their positive legacy? How did they make a difference? So who, what, where? Where did they leave a legacy? To what people in their lives and in what areas of their lives did they leave a good legacy behind? So you got the who, the what, the where, when. Did they know when, at what moment they were leaving a positive legacy, or were they kind of going through life without a lot of clarity? So you've got the who, what, where, when. Do you or I know why we leave what we leave? Do we know why we want to leave a positive legacy? And then how? Do we actually know how to do that? Do we know what we want to do and then how to implement that in actionable steps to leave a great and positive legacy? Well, I'm here to say that you can have focus and intentionality in leaving a great legacy for those that you love. So let's define legacy. The definition of a legacy is anything that you leave behind. Now, Hitler had a legacy, Nero had a legacy, Abraham Lincoln had a legacy, JFK had a legacy. Everybody leaves some sort of a legacy behind. The question is, what is it? It's not always positive. It's not always negative. Some of us are real mixed bags. We have a real mixed legacy. We're here today to talk about how you can know what your message is, how to find your legacy, who's your audience, who listens to you, who resonates with you, and who do you resonate with that would listen to your legacy, listen to your life message. And then lastly, what's your medium? What are you going to use to leave behind a positive legacy? Is it what tools? Print, spoken word, some other visual art, could be anything. So your life message and how to focus it. So let's start with a legacy idea. Whether you're Baptist, Buddhist, or Baha'i, we all want to leave behind a positive legacy. And part of a good legacy is having a good story to tell. Do you tell a good story? Are you able to capture your life message, in effect, in a story that is compelling and easily communicated? And in Toastmasters, we talk about the tell, tell, tell. So a lot of good stories are broken up into 3 parts. Tell you what we're going to tell you the actual story, the content, and then tell you what we told you. It's kind of a roadmap, if you will, to a good story. So any good story has those 3 pieces to it in one way or another. So having said that, how about your communication skills? How about your relationships? Are you in relationship with people that want to hear from you? And there are some venues that you're part of and communities that you're part of. And will you take the time to focus in on that legacy? So let's start today. How will you leave that legacy behind? Tell a quick story. My wife Joni and I were coming back from church, and I was feeling kind of all spiritual, and I said, hey, what are my spiritual gifts? What are you thinking? Good speaker, I play guitar, I sing like a bird. What's kind of my focus there, hon? And she looked at me and she stopped and she said, really none of that. I was kind of disappointed, and I thought, wow, what's up? She said, Scott, you're really great with teens. Teens and young adults like you, they dig you, you resonate with them, kind of like your dad was. He just liked young people, and they kind of related to him as an older guy. And I thought, wow, what I think versus what other people know about me. So can you get into that headspace? What you think may not be accurate. What do others know about you? So one way to identify your legacy is survey. Survey those around you, the best people or safe people that you have good relationships with, and just ask, what do you think my life has been about or is about that I would do well in leaving behind a positive life message? Number 2 is the passion test. I've called this the passion test. What that is what do you burn with desire about? What would you do for free if they would let you? What do you love to talk about? What do you love to think about? What's your passion? It could be sculpting, it could be poetry, it could be a number of things. So what are you passionate about, and what's your medium in your media? And then lastly, your mission statement. Take some time, take pen to paper, and write down your mission, the things that you'd like to see accomplished in your life. What would you like to see done? What would you like to see accomplished? And what would you like to see as an end result of your life? Then, take your survey, your passion test, and your mission statement, overlap those three, and somewhere in the middle where those three meet, you will find the seeds of your legacy and the message that you have for life. So now that you have some content, let's talk about number 2, your audience. Who listens to you? Who is your intended audience to leave a legacy for? Who best resonates with you, with your message, with your life? You might stop and think about that for a minute. Number 2, what's your office, your role, your authority, your position in life? Is it parent? Is it manager? Is it leader, teacher? Maybe you're just a player. Maybe you're somebody in the community. That's all great. What's your role in your organization or your community, in your country, in your city, in your organization? And then think about that role as it relates to legacy. And then lastly, your demographic. Who do you burn with desire for, that you love, that you pray for, that you have a burden in your heart for, the people that you really care about, that demographic, that sociographic, that psychographic, whoever that is it a tribe of people? Is it a type of people? Is it homeless? Is it maybe they're geographical? Could be anybody. Who do you burn with desire for, to really passionately want to help? So if you take those areas, who listens to you, your role, your demographic, the people that you burn with desire for, who do you love and pray for and have that big life burden for, and you overlay those, you'll have a cross-section of your new legacy demographic. Who is your audience? And then lastly, how do you assemble your message? Once you have all that together, how would you outline your content, your message, and your story, and begin to elucidate on what you want to say? In other words, how do you compile your message, and then what medium will you use to get that message out? This message is on video. You're watching me from a video platform. So what's your platform? I think it's really critical that you have something to say that's cogent, that's concise, that's important, and that you can structure that life message in some way that people will get it right away. Not quite an elevator pitch, but something that's succinct and to the point. Maybe making at max 3 points with your message. Kind of that storytelling from Toastmasters. The tell. Tell you what I'm going to tell you. I'm going to tell you what I told you. That review. So once you have that message, what would be your venue and your media that fits your personality, your profile, your gifts, your message? For some of us it's video, for some of us it's the written word, for some of us it might be art or music, guitar, piano. For some it might just be one-on-one with people. They're really good encouragers, they're really good supporter people, they're really good people that just love on other people and they care for them incredibly effectively, just on a one-on-one or a small group basis. So let's talk about some favorite forms. One might be the written word. Perhaps you have a blog. Perhaps you're a writer and you love to put pen to paper. Perhaps, like my dad was, my dad wrote really good letters. He would love to write a really nice letter. I've kept some of those in my Bible. I pull those out on occasion. What a great legacy to go back and look at what he was thinking and what he was trying to convey in terms of a legacy. And I don't even think he knew it that much. One way that my dad did that too is he sat around a dinner table and told stories about World War II.